Hey, you butt pirates, so I lost the game audio because I'm dumb on this episode and I didn't want to record it because it wouldn't be genuine, so I'm just gonna loop the soundtrack in the background. Okay, cool. Here we go! Hello friends, it's me. You might be wondering immediately, why are we starting on the title screen of the game? Well, there's a couple reasons for that. The first is, look at this lovely picture I've adorned on my mantle. As you can see by the crass workmanship and the color scheme, it dates back to 18th century England, wherein wood carvings of depressed little girls that remind you the true meanings of love were hung upon the mantle in order to invite guests in. The second reason is, I don't know, wanted to be realistic. I'm sorry I haven't been making things. I really want to, but life has kind of gotten complicated and there's shit going on. I'm trying. I am. I would love to be one of those entertainer people who whips out a bunch of videos and has fun and does stuff, but it's, I don't know. I'm in a very transitional period of my life, if that works. Yeah, so I'm just trying to get shit settled. And hopefully, you know, it'll turn into something. But I love all of you, so let's play some stupid fucking dating sims. My alarm blares in my ears, only to be swiftly silenced by my fist. My body switches to auto mode, carrying my subconscious self out of bed and into my uniform. As always, my bottles of pills sit on the desk patiently, waiting for me to take them and pick out my daily dosage of medicine. 17 pills a day. Before I know it, I'm opening the door to class 3-3. Glad to see that I'm not the only one who seems to be a little hungover from the weekend festival. Every face in the classroom looks gaunt. With the festival all over, it's as if everyone's life dreams have been achieved. With nothing left to live for, the students have relied on instincts alone to guide them into class. Or maybe I'm just reading too much into that. I slowly make my way to my seat, and it's only then that I realize why the room is so peaceful. The seats beside mine are empty. The world's loudest interpreter for the deaf has yet to arrive. Holy f***! That legitimately scared me. Shit. That legitimately got me to jump a little bit. Woo! Fuck. Bravo. Anyway, just as I'm about to sit down, the door flies open, revealing a resplendent Misha. Drills bobbing from their dramatic entrance and arms stretched towards the sky. Yahoo, Squiggle! It's all over! It would appear that not everyone is affected by the post-festival depression. I call it the festivation. The rest of the class glared, are obviously thinking the same thing I am. Misha, still frozen in the doorway with her arms still in the air, nervously looks around. It's obvious that she senses the foul mood, but can't work out exactly what to do. Suddenly she jerks forward. Hey! As she stumbles into the classroom, she feels Shizun, arm still extended from where she shoved Misha. ... Thanks for the entertainment, but shouldn't you two take your seats? ... Still slightly embarrassed, Misha takes a few seconds to realize that she has to translate. Oh, yeah, Shik-chan says she's not happy with you ditching us last week. We were really busy! Is that so? What about the stuff I already did for you two? ... She says that only counts for council members. Since you declined, she doesn't owe you anything. Whoa, Misha somehow increases in proportion to the room, a giant woman stalking on the prowl, learning to take her prey at a moment's notice, and also whispers in my ear. Actually, I think she's just a little sore that you didn't spend the day with her. She's really thankful for your work the last week, though. Sensing that she is being talked about, Shizun lightly wraps her finger on the desk until Misha turns around to face her. After a very lightning-fast, quick game of charades, I can't understand what's going on, but from Shizun's slightly embarrassed expression and Misha's poorly contained laughter, I can guess. While this exchange is happening, the door opens once again, but this time at a much more reasonable pace. A dainty flower, blown in from the careful spring breeze and carried on that of which we would know as God's fingertips enters the room and pulls the door closed behind her. Peering out from under her hair, she quickly scans the classroom. Our eyes meet, and she suddenly stiffens. She closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, and then walks over to my desk. Good morning, Hisao. Morning, Hanako. You're a little late, aren't you? I was talking to Lily about today. Ah, so you got her list then. We can leave straight after classes in that case. Sure. I'm looking forward to it. Hanako briefly flashes her embarrassed smile at me and then hurries off to her seat. By the way, in case any of you are wondering, Shizun is my second choice. I think Rin is... Wait. No, I don't like Lily at all. She's boring. Bionic Legs is too ganky, which is not good in my taste. I only like a little bit of that gank. And, Rin is funny. Wait, I don't remember the names, but, No Arms Lady is funny and quirky, but just kind of whatever. During classes, it becomes apparent that it's not only the students that are a little too despondent from the festival. Mewtwo simply gives us a list of exercises from the textbook and then sits behind his desk. I totally forgot about the brief lunch period for a moment, such is the banality of the day. It's mind-numbing, and everyone seems surprised when the bells signal at the end of the lessons. As I am packing up my bags, Shizun and Misha flank me and trap me. Say, Hick-chan, it's still not too late to join up. There's a lot of post-festival paperwork for us to complete. Dots. Sorry, Misha. I've got other plans. As if sensing the cue, Hanako appears behind me holding a small bag and trying to avoid eye contact with the outside world. Misha's eyes open wide and she bursts into... The fuck are you doing about my bitch? I will fucking cut you. I will take a knife and drag it through your mouth so that you are permanently smiling at how much pain I can fucking put you in. Alright? You move fast, don't you, Hick-chan Squiggle? We won't disturb your date any further. Behind the roaring Misha, I see Shizun taking far too little interest in the scene. I might be taking this the wrong way, but I think she's deliberately ignoring me. Yes. I feel a gentle tug on my t-shirt and turn to see Hanako's eyes fixed firmly on the floor. I really am glad I started dating a piece of bacon. Well, that's... Got you, Shizun. Misha, I'll see you later. And if I'm not interested in the council, so, yeah. Spoil sport! Misha and Shizun retreat into the hallway, happily signing to each other. Got all your stuff? Let's head off. Floods of students pour out of the school gates and onto the road of the town. It's a little weird. It's almost a scene from any high school, but the illusion fades because of the occasional wheelchair or missing limb. One thing I do notice is that nobody is alone. And as if Hanako and I pass through the gates, I notice that she closes the distance between us, like a goddamn predator. Not enough to be considered close, but certainly isn't in her usual, just a little far position. I guess we're not familiar enough for her to get close as she does with Lily. However, even though she has moved a little closer to me physically, mentally she seems to have traveled a mile. Her hands clutch around the leather straps of her bag to the point where whitening her knuckles, her head down and her mouth lip pursed. She almost looks like she's been walking to the principal's office for the last time. I try to stifle a giggle at the thought, but it is futile. I let out a bellowing laugh that allows me to crush my enemies through intimidation. Sorry, apologize. Did not mean to do the big man voice for the little dainty girl. Shh. It's okay. My mouse can cover your... She has a mouse mouth! What's the matter? I guess there's no point in hiding it. Sorry. For a second there, I thought you were in trouble. What? What do you mean? I think you need to relax more. We're not going too far. It's only students around, right? You're right. It bothers me to see Hanako's so worked up. And you do this every work, right? Yes, with Lily. Of course, with Lily. I wonder, has she ever left the school without her? It doesn't seem like much at first glance, but Hanako's dependence on Lily is absurdly heavy. If she can't handle leaving the school without her, how would she have managed to survive if the two had never met? Would she have found someone to latch on to? Or what drew her to Lily? Was it her lack of eyesight? Or was Lily just kind enough to lend a hand? I wonder if anyone would have fit the bill. Although probably neither of them, because they're not named Bill. Well, I'm here, and besides, we're not going that far. It'll be over before you know it. Hanako's knuckles slowly regain their color as she tries to hide a small smile, but the effort of that seems to prevent further conversation. We travel, side by side, down the long and lonesome road. There shined a shiny demon, and he asked us, "Be you angels?" And we said nay. By the time we reach the convenience store, we are practically alone. Using me as a shield between herself and the attendant, Hanako moves through the narrow aisles, adding an assortment of items to her bag. Bread, milk, tea, time, but we're out of time! Everyone runs out of time. I'm just a clock. I'm gonna make your fucking skin fall off. What kind of convenience store sells herbs? Then again, nothing about this town seems normal. Which may or may not be such a bad thing in retrospect. Everything is so different and uncomfortable. Dwelling on such matters is not really an opinion. When I think about that, it reminds me of Hanako. No matter how much you try, you can't escape her scars. They still interrupt my train of thought when I see them. As much as I don't want to admit it myself, I'm thinking of forcing myself to ignore them. Not that I'm scar-free myself. The jagged lines that run down my sternum will never completely fade. I just have the luxury of being able to hide it. But in both ways, our scars remind us that we are both in this physical place for a reason, Mr. Barman. Dots. I hate dots. Hanako throws one last item in her basket, then sheepishly holds it out to me, along with a few banknotes. Could you please? It takes me a second to understand what she's trying to say. Oh, you want me to pay for it? Bitch, I go Dutch. And by that I mean that's not true. She nods, but doesn't look up. I guess this task falls on Lily on the usual occasions. Sure, let me grab a couple things. Hastily, I grab a few essential items for myself and head to the counter with Hanako close in tow. The attendant gives me a different nod as he scans the items. I suppose just ignoring us is one way to deal with the anomalies of Yamaku. We might be getting a lot of students here, being the closest store to the school. The staff must all have their own way of dealing with us, or maybe they don't. Maybe it's only me who thinks twice about the unique schoolmates. Our transaction complete, Hanako and I head back out to the street. The road is pretty much abandoned now. The students that were heading out have already left and nobody has started returning yet. And with only the school ahead on the road, there doesn't seem to be anyone else. The emptiness certainly reflects on Hanako, her arms by her sides carrying each bag, her head no longer bowed and back to an upright position. It's almost as if she were enjoying the walk. What? Hanako enjoys nothing. Who are you and what have you done with my wife?